Fabulous. Okay, the next step is the description of the process. And Brian?
How's it going? Right on. Good. So my name is Brian. I'm part of the Industrial Workers of the World. I'm one of the Wobblies here in LA. And I wanted to go over some things that folks have been having some concerns about. We've been having some meetings to discuss how the process ought to be. And I know that it's really frustrating, and I want to echo the brother from New York who was saying that, you know, if you just stick with the process, trust that you will get your voice heard. There is a strong commitment from the facilitation folks to do this. If you notice problems, we want to be accountable directly to the people who are part of this process. So please come to facilitation committee meetings and make the process better, because your input is what's going to make it better. Power dynamics that you see, things that, you know, like around race, around the face of the movement, around who gets to speak, you know, our women of color being able to speak, our queer people being able to speak. Those questions, those are real questions. It's really important that we pay attention to that and that we be open to it as people who are trying to do facilitation. We want to have rotating facilitation, and I expect you as an assembly to hold us to those standards, please. With that said, the goal here is to operate on a consensus decision-making process, okay? That means that in order for a decision to be official in the General Assembly, according to the points of unity that were adopted from New York, with consensus decision-making, that means that people can block. And if you have a concern, the way that this works, it's not the same thing as voting, all right? If something comes up and you hear it, Rob is going to explain in a second here what the hand signals are for this, but the basic thing is when a decision is getting ready to be made, if you have concerns, raise your hand. We have people who are going to be taking stack. If those stack takers, if we can see some hands, I want to see the hands of the stack takers. If you introduce yourselves. Here's one. I know we've got more. Two over here. Hey, what's up? So this is Victor, Bianca. Thank you. And are there any other stack takers? Okay, so they will hold their clipboards up when it's time for people to start getting on stacks. Make eye contact with them, come up to them, talk to them, get your name on there, okay? That's how you're going to be able to participate, because there's so many folks, we couldn't possibly have everybody talk here. But if you really want to say something, talk to the stack folks. The goal, though, with consensus decision making is that no decision is final until everyone is at least okay with it. You can disagree with it, but if you can live with it, things can move forward. If you want to block, if it's something that threatens the solidarity of the movement, if it's something that undermines the actual reasons why we are here, then you can do a hard block, okay? But that's something that you should hold off on until you have really, really deep concerns, okay? Because there are a lot of things, there's a wide variety of opinion out here, you know, so basically just know that if you block, that means not necessarily that the entire assembly is going to have to stop and wait forever. There may be things where you just are not going to go along with that, and you maybe just are not going to go with it. It may not be the right place for you, okay? But that's something that we want to avoid. We want you to participate, and we will work it out together. Consensus takes a long time. That's another thing. Sorry, it does. But the commitment, though, is this is a promise that we're all making to each other, that we are going to stick with each other through the decision-making process, so that there is something that we as a movement can get behind and proceed with, or at least not be undermining, okay? So that is the goal with consensus, and please, again, hold us accountable to it. That's the goal. These are aspirations. We are fallible human beings. It can get messed up, but if you notice problems, do say something, okay? So I feel like that's all I have to say about consensus. Do you want to move on to the next part? Yeah? All right, Robert, you want to explain the hand signals?
How's everybody doing today? I hope well. So I'm going to explain the hand signals of how we communicate with each other. When we're in agreement and you like what is being said, or you just agree, we're going to put our hands in the air and wave our fingers, both hands in the air. When you disagree, but you can live with the decision that's being made by the committee, you do this with your hands. Yeah, there we go. I don't see it. If someone's talking too long, taking too long, and you want them to get done and wrap it up. And
Move it along.
No, this is moving along.
We hear you. We understand.
We understand you.
Repeat.
Yeah, repeat. This is repeat. When someone's taking too long and they're talking too much. If you disagree, and you feel as if it undermines solidarity, or you fundamentally disagree, and it should be to a point where you will walk away if we go forward with it. It's this. It's called a hard block. People have been using a hard block unjust. The only time you should use a hard block is when you fundamentally disagree, and it can actually force you to leave the movement itself.
If it's something you think will endanger the movement, if it may not, in your opinion, be the best idea, that's not a call for a hard block. But if you think there's a real danger to the movement or really critical principles involved, and we're emphasizing that because hard blocks does allow an individual to hold things up. So as individuals, we have to make sure we use that only when necessary and not, frankly, to get attention or to make points that really wouldn't fall under hard blocks.
That is it. I don't think I missed any hand signals. Oh no, yes. This hand signal right here is when you're in agreement. Oh, and this is for clarification or for questions. 2 fingers in the air. In volume. Or mic check. Mic check. What is mic check?
What is mic check?
Thank you.